These have been very popular on social media and a lot of the tool and mechanic places online. These are currently $20 at Lowe's for the 2024 fall and winter holiday season. It's from Kobalt, which is sold at Lowe's. This is there's our number there, 5996331. It's the 50-piece mechanics tool set. It says right here, hassle-free lifetime guarantee, as the Pro 90 ratchet. They're claiming a $131 value, but we all kind of know how that is. They overinflate all that. It's priced at $20. This is never going to be sold for $131. On the back here, it says it includes 6-point sockets, some SAE, some metric. We have a ratchet, 2-inch and 4-inch extensions, universal joint adapters, spinner handle, hex to square adapter, and 22-piece hex screwdriver bits. On the bottom here, this is made in Taiwan, is the location of manufacture. And again, it's the 5996331 set. So let's go ahead and remove this cardboard cover here. Just slides right off. I brought out a box cutter, but I don't need it for that apparently. So we do have a little plastic tab here. We no longer have a plastic tab there. That was just locking this in there for, I guess, during transportation at the store. So the case, you can see how big it is compared to my hands. Kobalt branded, it's typical Kobalt blue. We have hinges on the back side here. We have a little sliding door it's a spring-loaded door. We have the Kobalt logo on the bottom, and I did just turn it upside down. So if everything falls out when we open it, we'll know why. So let's open this up here. This is plastic here, it's not foam. So we got a little Kobalt decal, it's neat. So on the bottom of this set here, let's start here. We have a handle, fits in there pretty snug. They call this the spinner handle. Just a Kobalt branded with a little, 1/4-inch drive, not anvil, but, the square bit there. So that's our handle. Right here, we have what is this right here? This is a number 4. 4mm 6-point socket. Over here, I imagine this is probably for our bits up here. We'll get to that in just a second. We have our ratchet. It's their Pro 90 1/4-inch drive ratchet, which that's actually extremely hard to get out of there. It's a very snug fit. So ratchet's actually pretty heavy. The number on it is 81696. 81696. I'm not sure if they make that, if they sell that individually. It's got a pretty good weight to it here. It is a quick release, 90 tooth, but it's a quick release ratchet. You feel the back drag's not bad on it. Yeah, the ratchet's not bad at all for a ratchet, a $20 set. Then on the bottom here, we have our, that's exactly what that is. That says bit coupler. So it is labeled here. So we have our sockets down here. These are our SAE sockets. And they do have a little square peg in there that they kind of, they don't really, they kind of do snap into it. That's pretty snug there. Watch me dump them all over the table. And no, actually they do stay in place. I was expecting these to fall right out, but they do stay into place. and they take a little bit of force to pull them out. So that's actually nice. I like that because I can turn this set upside down, and the only two things that fell out were the 4mm metric socket and the bit coupler. These actually stay all locked in there, and that's nice. So SAE, we have, let me zoom in for a second here. There's our sizes on the SAE, which actually it's probably easier if I just go on to the cardboard insert rather than pull them all out. But we can see here, 6-point we got 1/8 inch to 1/2 inch, and then metric we got 4, 5. It is missing the 5.5, but it goes 4 to 14mm. So those are our sizes on the 6-point sockets. And the actual sockets themselves, they are Kobalt branded here. They have the size there, but these don't have the famous color markings that Kobalt sockets have. If you've seen a lot of the Kobalt stuff, they'll have blue and red paint there to distinguish, you know, SAE and metric. These are lacking that, which is interesting, but I don't know if it's anything too noteworthy. In the top of the case here, we have our 4-inch extension. We have our 2-inch extension, and then we have a swiveling universal joint. So let me pull out a socket here. They are actually kind of hard to get out, to be honest. That actually hurts your fingers a little bit. There's a good bit of force you got to pull up. This is a 11mm. All right, so it's a 1/4-inch drive socket and ratchet. I mean, we've all been experienced with that. Up top here, our bits come out in these little removable trays. And one complaint of this kit is this stuff's actually hard to get out. Like, I don't know if you can see this. It's bending, but it doesn't want to come out. There we go. Yeah, that, I don't know if that's just because it's brand new, but that's actually very hard to get out of there. I guess it's a nice thing that they won't come out and fall out on their own, but that's, I don't know if I like that. That's really snug. So here on our bit set, we have hex over here in metric hex. We have these spline 5, 6, and 8 here. Sort of a spline shape. And then we have, these are hollow ground slotted bits. On the top one, I'm not going to remove this. Let me see if it's, actually I am. Let me see if it's easier to remove. Yeah, now that the other one's out and you have the clearance to get underneath it a little bit, that's easier to remove. But here we have Torx. We have, T6, 8, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 27. We have number 1 through 3 Phillips, and then we have our socket adapter there. So I'm not sure how well these will hold up. Something that I've noticed in these sets is that obviously the larger stuff, like your number 2 Phillips and stuff, and your T25, T27 Torx, like that stuff holds up fine. I've always had terrible luck with the small ones, the T6, the T8, that they want to actually, they don't necessarily strip, but they actually twist, and they start to round out that way. So to use it with this, we do have to use our bit adapter here. It snaps on, and it's got a fair bit of play, to be honest. Let me pop out, we'll see here. Let's just do the 8mm slotted. And again, you can leave comments that I'm weak, but this is like hard to get out of there. That's a big negative of this set. Okay, so I got the 4.5 out. So these also don't really seem to fit. I mean, there's definitely some friction there. So they're not going to fall out, but they, yeah, that's a pretty snug fit. And there's a lot of, let me see if you can see this. Yeah, there's a lot of wobble with that. So I just got this. I just opened it up because I saw a lot of people online were getting this, and I fell for the peer pressure and marketing to pick one of these up. For $20, it's not bad. I would throw this, spare toolkit in the, in the car. This is small enough that it can fit in a glove box or center console, something like that, if you wanted to. I think their estimation of $131 value is very optimistic. My only complaint really is that, I mean, look at this. Maybe you have to come in like this. Okay, that's easier. My only complaint is that this stuff is in there. It's snug, but it's almost too hard to remove this stuff. Even these sockets here, even the sockets, like that one popped out fine, but like this one here, see, like I just hurt my fingers there. So I don't know. This is I would not want to use this in cold weather. It's 20 degrees outside and your fingertips are freezing, having to try to pry this stuff out of here. So this will probably get put in the trunk of one of the vehicles as a spare kit. I don't think I'm going to be buying any more of these. I don't think this is going to be a tool that I'm going to want 2 and 3 copies of because it was that great. Don't regret it though, but I don't know. I'm not seeing the hype on this one. If you have any questions, just leave it below. Thank you for watching.